Good morning. Myself, Dr. Sachin Airekar. Today, we are going to discuss about the model number 3 of human resource management, that is training and development. In an organization, training and development department is a very key department in case of employee development. This department finds out the training needs of the employees, prepare the training designs, and implement it. Not only implement it, but also sees that how the training is benefiting the employees and how their performance is increasing or growing, which will help ultimately to the organization. So that's why understanding about the concept of training and development is important for management students. The learning objectives of this session are: after completing this particular unit, you will be able to know the meaning and importance of training. You will be able to understand the process of training, and you will be also able to understand the various methods of training with its evaluation. Now we will start with the definition of training. Training is a process of sharing knowledge, imparting skill in an employee for improvement in performance, which will help organization and the employees to achieve the set goals. Training is a process. Process of what? What exactly is happening in training? Knowledge from the trainer to trainees. That knowledge sharing is there. Skills are imparted. So ultimately, employees' knowledge level are moving in the upward direction, as well as skill upliftment is also taking place. And because of these two things, updated knowledge, having advanced skill, both are helping the employees to perform best, and their performance is improving. And when their performance is improving, there is a, in the definition we have mentioned, which will help organization and employee to achieve the set goals. For employees, the goals are also set. Organization is it's having its own goals, and both these parties, employees as well as organization, will be in a position to achieve those goals. This is what the outcome of training: knowledge shared, skills imparted in employees, which will result into the improvement in performance, which will help organization and employees to achieve their goals. Training is given, not improving the performance of the employees. It is of no use. We have to find out why training failed, why our training program which we have designed is failed. Training given, employees' performance is improved, but failed to achieve the organization goal. Then in that case, we have to do the reverse engineering. Organizational goal, why failed to achieve? Who are responsible for that? Why the particular person failed? All those reverse engineering we have to do. And that's why when we are talking about the definition of the training, it's a process and its outcome is achieving the organization and employee goals. So training should contribute in achieving the goals. Training is contributing in achieving the goals. That's why training is a very vital organ of the organization nowadays. We don't know which type of people we are going to get from the market when we are going for recruitment and selection. Maybe sometimes we are not going to get people of required skill set. We have to induct and we have to develop them. How we are going to develop them? We are going to develop them by the instrument, by a tool used named as training. So in the definition of training, it's very clear. The important words are it's a process, sharing knowledge, imparting skills in an employee for improving his performance or her performance, ultimately leads to achieve the organizational and employee goal. Now we'll move towards the next slide. The process of training. Process of training are having 5 different steps. It begins with training need analysis, finalization of training objectives. Third step is developing training design. Fourth step is training implementation. And fifth step is training evaluation. Now we will discuss all these one by one. Training need analysis, training need assessment. What is training need assessment? Training need assessment is nothing but what type of skills, knowledge is required to perform a job. And currently, the person who is performing the job, what is his knowledge and skill levels? If they are matching, no problem. If there is a mismatch, then there is a need for a training. That this particular person is good in case of report writing, but this particular same person is not good in case of handling the transactions with the help of laptop or computer. We have analyzed that, and then we are going to plan the training for that individual about computer literacy or computer proficiency. But because for how we are going to do that? With the help of training need assessment. Each and every employee in the organization will be get assessed on the basis of requirement of the knowledge, skills, competencies, and because if there is a gap, we are identified those gaps as a training needs, and we are bridging those gaps by organizing training programs to those individuals. Once we have done with the training need assessment, then we will move towards the second part, that is finalization of training objective. For what purpose we are organizing this particular, we are going to organize training program. Okay, we want to share the knowledge. What type of knowledge? What will be the level of that knowledge? Based on that, we are going to finalize the objectives of a training program. The objective should be, which we are going to finalize, should be specific as well as it should be measurable. It should be achievable. What is meant by measurable and why it is important? Because at the end, we are going to do the training evaluation. At the end, when we are going to do the training evaluation, for evaluation purpose, we will require two data sets. One data set through the questionnaire, through the feedback which we are going to receive from the employees and from the trainees and trainers. That will be one data set. And to compare with that, we will have a second data set, that is the objective which we have in the beginning of the process which we have set. We are going to compare these two data sets with each other. If these two data sets are matching, yes, our training is successful. If they are mismatched, there is some problem. And that's why when we are talking about evaluation and one data set, the one data set will be training objective, and that's why it should be specific, it should be measurable, and it should be achievable also. It should not be like that. We are going to organize a 3 day training program for all our employees who are not in a position to speak the local language. The local language may be Tamil, maybe Marathi, maybe Kannada, anyway. And after completion of this 3 day training program, they will be in position to write essays in that local language, or they will be in position to write stories in that local language. This target, this objective is not achievable. It will require more time to get proficiency or a new language that we have to understand. And that's why when we are finalizing objectives, it should be very specific. They will objective, they will to understand the language. This is not a specific objective. But when we are writing, they will be able to understand the local language Marathi. This is called a specific objective. So when we are talking about a training objective, it should be specific, measurable, achievable. That is very important. Why? Because this data set is going to be get used at the time of training evaluation. And if this data set, that is objectives, are not proper, we will be not in a position to compare the actual feedback which we have received with the objective, and then it will not possible for us to find out the effectiveness of the training program which we have conducted for the employees. And if we are not in position to find out the effectiveness, whatever the amount which we have spent on training,